In this bead kit, you'll find some thread. This is Nymo thread in size B, some beeswax to wax your thread, as well as your centers and some felt. I've also included some faceted beads for the edge of the piece, and some seed beads in metallic and opaque colors, and some backing. To get started, we will grab our piece, remove the needle from the felt, and then cut a length of thread. I recommend grabbing about 3 to 4 feet or about a meter. You do not need the entire thread used for the project. We can run out and restart as we work through the project. Thread your needle. And now we're going to condition our thread using the beeswax berry. So grab the beeswax and then hold your needle and your thread against the beeswax while you pull the needle and all of your thread through it. Then run your fingers over the thread to make sure it's distributed evenly. To tie a knot, take the end of your thread, wrap it around your needle 5 or 6 times, pinch it, and pull it all the way down. You'll see the big bunch of thread. You just squeeze and pull, and down at the very end you'll create a knot, just like that. Get your supplies ready by getting your seed beads and pouring them out. I like to use little containers like lids or these triangle containers, or you can pour it out onto some fabric or a tablecloth or a placemat. I like to start with the metallic bead in the center. Use whichever color you like best. Starting at the top section of your center, come up through the felt with your needle and then grab some beads. You're going to want to grab 6 to 8 beads to get started on your needle, and then push them down to the base towards where we're going to do the beading. Use your dominant hand to hold your needle and your non-dominant to hold your thread in place. Make sure your beads are sitting properly, and then you're going to stitch just past the last bead. You can see I'm leaving a small gap, not stitching too close to the beads. Then we're going to work our way backwards towards the beginning. Every 2 beads we want to tack in between, pull your thread through and then down, so then the thread goes between the beads, just like that. Keep repeating until we get back to the beginning, every 2 beads. Once you get to the end, then you're going to come up at the beginning and push your needle just through the beads. This is our final securing stitch. Now we're going to repeat that process all the way around our cab in the middle. So again, grab 6 to 8 beads on your needle, push them down, and get stitching. Tack the beads just past, pull tight, and then work your way backwards, stitching between every 2 beads. If you're liking this tutorial so far, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, you can find this bead kit as well as many more on my website at breannadice.com, linked in the description. Now our first row is all done. We can start our second row. So I'm grabbing the other color of beads, pouring them out into a container, and then we can get started. For this row, I like to alternate colors, so I'm going to grab a little pinch of both the colors and just put them on the palm of my hand. Then I'm going to grab alternating colors on my needle and keep repeating the tacking. Finally, we're going to do our last row with the opaque beads. Once we've done that, our flat stitch is all done and we can get started with our edging. First, we're going to remove the excess felt, so take a pair of scissors and we're going to trim carefully but somewhat close to the beads. It's okay if you have a little bit of white felt on the edge. We can always melt it down with a lighter after. Next, we'll take our backing material and I'm just going to cut out a rough piece that's a little bit bigger, like so, and then we can trim it down to the perfect size. To make this a little easier, I'm just going to take a pencil and quickly trace out our beaded piece. You can also add a little bit of glue and glue it down onto the backing right away to make sure that it is fully secure and cut out just perfect. Thread your needle and tie a knot, and then we're going to go between the backing and the felt layers with our needle in the middle like this and come up through the beadwork. Then I'm going to grab 3 seed beads. I'm using the same color as my outer line of beads and stitch about 2 beads over. Then pull tight like so and put your needle up through the 3rd bead. Pull tight. And now we'll see our edge is starting to take a little bit of shape. Now to continue our edge, we're going to go 2 beads at a time. So I'm going to grab 2 seed beads and again go about 2 beads distance. Go through and then put your needle up through the 2nd bead like so. And you'll see it's starting to create our picot edge. Now we're going to repeat that one more time like so. Now we can go ahead and start using our faceted beads. So pick up the little baggie and pour them out. Now we're going to grab 1 faceted bead and 1 seed bead. Push them down to the base, and then this way we can measure and see where we need to stitch. So I'm going to go just under that faceted bead like so, pull tight, and then go up through the seed bead. And you'll see now we have a beautiful faceted bead. Now we're just going to alternate between seed beads and faceted beads. So grab 2 seed beads, go through, and then up through the 2nd bead, like so, and then 1 faceted bead and 1 seed bead, tack down and go up through the seed bead. We're going to keep doing this all the way around. Once we get back up to the top, we're going to finish off with some seed beads. I'm going to stitch 2 down here to finish this gap, like so, go up through the 2nd bead, and then we're going to use 1 bead to close it all together. You're going to put your needle down through the very first bead, like so, pull through, and then we're going to go through both layers from front to back. All the way through, like so, pull tight, and then go up through that first bead one more time. I'm also going to go through the upper bead right here that's next to it. Now we're going to make a loop to attach our hook to. So I'm going to grab 4 beads and push them down like so. And I'm going to grab 2 more, make it 6. There we are. And then I'm just going to go down through those other seed beads. So you'll see right here, I'm going to leave a gap and then go through the next edge. Once we pull this tight, you'll see we've created a little loop. Then I'm going to go down through the base bead and then through both the layers from front to back. Finally, we're going to go back up through to make sure that it is nice and secure. Pushing your needle up through the edging and then through your beaded loop. And then back down to the base. Now to create a knot, I'm just going to hook my needle underneath the stitch that's holding the edge down. You can see right there. Just push my needle through and then I'm going to put it through the loop to create a knot like so. Then I'm going to put my needle up through the beads and pull tight. This will help the knot disappear under the edge of beadwork so you don't see it. Trim off the excess thread and we're all done. Your first earring has been created. Now just add the earring hook and it's ready to wear. I'm just using pliers to open up the jump ring, putting it around my little loop like so, and then closing it with my pliers. And ta-da! A totally finished and wearable beaded earring. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. There are bead kits available on my website if you'd like to buy your own. And as always, have a beautiful day. P.S. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.